Okay, so that's good. Now, first of all, introduce yourself, excluding your name.
Okay, sir. Sir, I am from Moirang in Manipur state, but currently I am living in Delhi. I have done my schooling till class 12 in Manipur itself, and after that I did my graduation in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Bengaluru in Karnataka. Sir,
Okay.
I'm deterministic and I'm disciplined, and I like to play sports, and my other hobbies include fitness, traveling, and playing guitar.
Okay, that's fine. So, why you want to join this organization, or why didn't you go into your stream? Why you want to change your stream actually?
Okay, sir. Since the towards the end of engineering, I have already made up my mind that I will become an officer in government and work for the government services. And
Okay, if you already targeted for government officer, why did you go for engineering? You can do some other normal courses like BSc, BCom, like that. Why you specifically choose the particular engineering stream?
sir, after 12th, after my 12th class, I was fairly good in school till 12th class. I was a good student, and we didn't have much exposure then. Like in coming from a very remote place like Manipur, everyone in our class, all my peers, all my friends who were good in studies, they are either going to medical line or engineering line, and I was naturally drawn towards engineering. And my parents didn't force me or anything. It was my choice. I thought, engineering would be good. That I will be able to get up a good job in technical sector, earn good money, and that was my ration. That was my thinking basically going into engineering. But down the line, I realized that I want to join. I want to work for government. I want to be an officer in government because I realized that my personality will suit such a job profile much better. And this is where I would like to see myself. This is where I would like to work properly. And
Okay,
that
that's
is
nice.
that is my
Okay, that's good. इसके साथ ही साथ फ्रेंड्स आप इस बुक को ले सकते हो जो आप सभी के लिए काफ़ी ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होगी, स्पेशली इंटरव्यू के लिए आपकी। इसमें आपको 100+ इंटरव्यू से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आंसर मिल जाएंगे जिनको आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो, जो कि आपके एग्जाम में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पूछे जाने के चांसेस है। आपके इंटरव्यू में मोस्ट प्रोबेबली ये क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं। ऐसे सारे क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आपको एक सीरीज मिल जाएगी क्वेश्चन की। साथ ही साथ यहाँ पे आपको करंट और सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स भी मिलेंगे इसी बुक में। आपको अलग से कुछ प्रिपेयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है। सारे जितने भी रिसेंट करंट एंड सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड इश्यूज है वो सारे के सारे इस बुक में कवर किए गए हैं। साथ ही साथ जो है आपको ये लोएस्ट कॉस्ट में आपको ये बुक मिल जाएगी। एडिशनल आपको 30% डिस्काउंट भी मिल जाएगा। तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में दोस्तों लिंक दिया गया है, वहां से जाके आप इस बुक को ले सकते हो और अपनी प्रिपरेशन को और बेहतर तरीके से कर सकते हो। राइट फ्रेंड्स? So, what do you think? What is the present situation with respect to Jammu and Kashmir in India, or what are the arising threats from that is union territory at present time?
sir. Currently, the situation of Jammu and Kashmir is not in a very good state. I would say because there are numerous, not in a very good state currently. But then again, it is also improving considering how it was back in early 2010, 2013, 14, 15, where the whole civil population of Jammu and Kashmir was involved in many violent activities like stone pelting, etc. But today, civil population has subsided in all these activities, and the terrorists and their activities, their allied activities, are also losing support from the civil people. And now and then, every few days, we hear about army personnel uh, capturing and encountering terrorists. And these are recent happenings that happen very frequently. And also, uh, there are unfortunate news about these resistance people, about these terrorists capturing and intimidating outsiders, minorities and religious minorities and migrant workers, etc. And I believe, according to my opinion, I believe that they are doing this because they are losing support and they are losing ground in the Kashmir Valley. That is why they are resorting to violent acts against outsiders.
Okay. So, what do you think? What is the present agenda with respect to that of Jammu of Pakistan with respect to Jammu and Kashmir?
Sir, Pakistan has always been inimical and it has always tried to infiltrate terrorists uh, into Jammu and Kashmir so that the entire economic fabric and the entire trust relations between the civil population and the government of JNK and the government of India will be disrupted. And currently, I believe, according to me, Pakistan is still upkeeping, still maintaining this agenda, and it is because of threat of sanctions by the Financial Action Task Force, which is looming on Pakistan because of its incapability or because of its inactions of dealing with terrorists that are emanating or that are breeding from Pakistan. It is uh, it is still trying to infiltrate terrorists into India, but in a new manner, in a new way, such that the terrorists they are funding or they are sponsoring has new names like the Resistance Front and like Kashmir Tigers and many such names. While in the past there were names like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and all, they have not associated with these names, but they have come up with new names like very modern type of names, uh,
Okay.
which like
Oh,
which okay.
okay, that's good. Can you elaborate what is the importance of OTT platform in India, or what type of threats they can pose on internal security? Are you aware of OTT
Yes,
platforms?
yes, sir, definitely. OTT stands for over the top platforms, and these include platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime Videos, and Hotstar, and all that. And they need to be regulated. I believe that they need to be regulated in some way. Currently, there is not much regulation with respect to the content that is being shown in these OTT platforms, and it can pose a threat to our uh, uh, internal security also, and also to the socio-economic uh, socio-economic rationale of the country, because if there is no regulation, then there will be vested interests or might even external state actors that can produce videos, that can make content, that can persuade people and make them think otherwise against the nation or against policies of the government. And they can spread fake news, fake media, and all that. Then definitely they can influence the thinking of certain people, and radicalization of youth is possible if not regulated through OTT.
Okay. So, what do you think? Which organization is currently regulating it, or what needs to be done so that the threats can be minimized?
Sir, a few months back, it was the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, I believe. It was Ministry and Information Broadcasting that had brought out this mandate in order to establish a new body, regulating body, much like the Central Board of Film Certification or the CBFC that regulates the theatrical films of India. And they have not yet come out with a proper regulating body as of now, as of yet. But yes, they are trying to come up with this body. And yes, much like the CBFC is controlling the content in theatrical conventional films, I believe that this body should also filter the content and definitely it should control the OTT platforms. But then again, not in a way that it hampers the total freedom of expression of citizens, of artists, but definitely if this freedom of expression is not absolute and if it is threatful to our internal security and our social fabric, then it should definitely be omitted. It should be controlled.
Okay, so if we talk about in terms of internal security, we have seen a lot of disturbances in India, or we have seen a lot of incidents of communal violence, right? So, what do you think? What are the what are the intention behind this type of violence, or what are the steps that the government needs to take so that these type of activities can be minimized or eradicated from our country?
Sir, first of all, I believe that there should be proper dialogue. Dialogue, I believe, is the most important step in order to build a harmonious state, in order to eliminate all these kinds of communal violence, etc. And force should be used as a last resort. I believe that the people, the common people, the civil society, and all the stakeholders should be engaged in communication, should be engaged in dialogue, and instead of a top to bottom approach of policy implementation, I believe that there should be bottom to top approach, so that all the concerns and all the wants and dislikes of the people should be heard, should be taken into consideration, and these policies should be implemented. And on, only as a last resort, only when there is no other way, force force should be applied on these matters.
Okay,